wet shavers, it's Katie. I'm doing a shave and chat today, and as you can see, if we put together the film from earlier today, I've come fresh from my haircut and color, eyebrow wax. You know, we're cleaning up the whole thing today. My hair was overdue for a cut by like 2 weeks, and I don't like that. So everything's gonna get cleaned up, and today we're gonna do some of that for the shave and chat, and I'm using Hendrix Classics Italian Plum Soap and Splash. I've already used this once and loved it, so this is a kind of a fun excuse to use it again. This is available at the Razor Company now, this set. And what I'm going to do today is, because Crystal Eco-Minded Shaves was brave enough to do a live underarm shave today, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm going to do something similar, except for it's not live. I'm going to shave my underarms on camera today with Italian Plum. And then I'm going to record a Dermaplane session too, just because I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use some products from the Razor Company and that I've really enjoyed so far. So we'll get started. I've been soaking this little, pretty small, it's a Mula, and you can't tell anymore because it's worn off the wood, but it's a Mula Badger, and I've been soaking it here in the Razor Company's silicone bowl. I have 3 different ones of these, and I think they work fantastic. So now it's time to scoop out with one of these cool little scoops from Pete. I love these. These are great. Scoop out a small amount. For an underarm shave, it really can be a very small amount, but I like plenty of lather to work with. So I'm going to go about like that. And scoop it into the bottom of the bowl. Hey, that's my cat making sounds. Sorry about that. Am I in your spot? What's the problem? Anyway, I love her. She's great. She's old. I give her everything she wants. So I squeezed out most of the moisture, but I've still got a little bit. And here we go. We're going to see if we can build a lather. And I know we can, because this is great soap. That smell is wonderful. This is just we call it a banger, I guess. It's a banger, in my opinion. It smells great. It's one of those rare products that I would love to smell on a man that was standing beside me, but yet I would also like to smell like it. Not every product is like that. In fact, most aren't. And I really am enjoying wet shaving because it's introducing me to a lot of products that there's just more out there than I realized that work for both men and women and are great products. So this is a real floppy badger. It's a really soft though, which is why I use it for my underarms. I don't use this brush for anything else. And it's just soft and small enough to work really well in this this silicone bowl, which I think is kind of a lather monster. It really creates I like this bowl. It works really well with everything I've tried in it so far, and this is not an exception. I think that I need to add a little more water, and what I did today, some of you know from my previous Instagram posts and stuff that I have super hard water. It's really hard for most soaps to perform well. I filled this up with some distilled water, and just gonna see if that adds a little bit. I haven't done too much experimenting with that, but some people think that it works really well for them, so I'm going to give it a try. It does seem to make the lather kind of pop a little bit more. Alright, I think I've definitely built up enough lather for an satisfying underarm shave. And I didn't put a lot of soap in there. So, ready to go. get the area in question hydrated a little bit. That's a bruise from my many outdoor activities. I tend to end up looking like I've been beaten up a little bit because everywhere I go, I bump into stuff and things happen. So it's I'm just a vigorous outdoor person, and I've always ended up with bruises on my arms and legs everywhere because if there's a hole in the woods, I'll find it and fall into it, kind of thing. The razor I'm using today is my Henson, which I really feel like right now is my favorite razor, especially for my underarms. I'm going to put in a blade. This is the Wizamet Super Iridium blade, and this will be its second or third use. And I don't use blades past 3 or 4 uses like ever. It just doesn't seem to work very well for me past that point. And one thing I love about the Henson is how easy it is to feel where that tightness is, that you don't really need to go past a certain point. Get that wet. It's such a smooth razor though. I really enjoyed it. So painting on some lather here. And I like to use plenty. I could have actually used maybe a little bit more soap today and gotten a little bit more built up, but this is enough. This is fine because I'm really only going to do one pass today. That's kind of what I usually do with my underarms, against the grain. And I mean, I can't even feel that, which is what I want on my underarms. I can't feel the blade. I can't feel it. I just really love the smoothness of this razor. And that was really quick, but really thorough. And I'm not going to go over that again just because I actually shaved completely on Sunday. And usually it's about a week. Sometimes for my underarms, it's more like twice a week because, especially in summer, you know, if I'm wearing a tank top or something, I don't want visible hair at all there. So whip this up a little bit more. There's not much left. I should have used maybe just a tad more, but it'll work. It smells so good. It's definitely plummy, but it's got this sweet underpinning of vanilla and something else. There are many products that I've tried that have fragrance and ingredients that I haven't, encountered yet. Oud is one of those things that I'm new to. Vetiver is not something I had much experience with or knew of or knew what it smelled like until this journey into wet shaving. So yeah, I could have used more lather there. But because this soap is so good and protective, I'm going to get away with this and probably have little to no irritation, which is a testament to Pete's soaps and quality. It does help having a mirror, and I have one in the shower now, because if I'm going to shave in the shower, it's probably going to be my underarms and or bikini line kind of area. So I'm satisfied that that's really nice and clean. I couldn't even feel it. It just works really well, and it smells wonderful. So I'm going to clean off a little bit there, and I get to use this wonderful aftershave now. And yeah, I use aftershave on my underarms. I mean, why not? Splash a little bit on both my hands. better than deodorant. It smells way better. So that was that. That was a very quick underarm cleanup shave that strictly wasn't maybe necessary, but makes me feel better, and so why not? Clean up my brush a little bit. And now I'm going to move on to dermaplaning, but I'm going to pause for just a second and kind of let that soak in and air out. And wow, that the splash is, there's a little bit more plum in the splash, at least at first, and but it dries down into this lovely kind of more complex, warmer fragrance with time, and it's really wonderful. So if you haven't looked at a set of this, I highly recommend it. I guess I would call it a banger. It's just a really wonderful fragrance, and the soap is extremely high quality. So highly recommend that from Hendrix Classics and the Razor Company. And now we're going to use the Leaf Dermaplaner, which I also think is available, excuse me, on the Razor, with the Razor Company now. And you know, a few years ago, well, this hasn't even been that long, a couple years ago, I discovered, like many women, I was using things like the Epilady to get rid of unwanted facial hair. I mean, as we age, our hormones do weird things, and as I started to get a mustache and, you know, this peach fuzz here that you can kind of see on my jaw lines and things like that, I decided I didn't want that. You know, like I don't need that on my face. I'm fine with it on my arms and stuff and wherever, but not my face. I didn't want it. So I cast around for options to remove it. And of course, the Epilady is an electric, I still have it. It works, but it works by, it's an electric device that looks kind of like an electric razor, and if you don't know what they are, and they work by kind of ripping your hair out by its roots. It's not a pleasant experience, but it works. I mean, and for a while it was kind of the only thing out there that worked like that, other than if you really wanted to actually shave your face with either a regular electric razor or a regular razor. And so the first version was the Schick disposable one with the wand you hang on to, but this cartridge here you can get rid of. And I still have that one. It's good for a travel one. I just wanted to ditch the cartridges. So I picked myself up this Leaf about 8 months ago. Anyway, it's a lot nicer to use than the disposable one. I'm going to remove and replace the blades on camera today, the blade and the guard, which that's the only thing that's kind of tricky about these, but I figured it out. The guard has to kind of be removed first or at the same time. And I use a tweezer to get it out. There's no way to get it out all the way without probably bending it a little bit or something. So once you're done, you're done. And then with the Leaf, putting the guard back in first is kind of the way you got to do it. But that's really easy. And let's make sure I do it the right way. You know, you're basically just making sure that piece there goes and fits in nice and snugly. Like that. You kind of press it in there. And now you're going to put your blade in, which today I'm just going to use the proprietary Leaf blade that comes with the guard. You can snap any DE blade in half and put it in there that you would like to. But they sell the refills as a set. So it's just sometimes it's easy to do it that way. And these go in inside the sleeve of the guard here that you can kind of see. And so if I can even accomplish this on camera, which I don't know if I can. But it's not that hard, and once you get it slid into the inside this sleeve of the guard, you just have to make sure that the blade is secure in there and press all the way down so that this will close, and it does. So my face is already clean and dry. I took a shower not long ago. I prefer to use the leaf planer, the dermaplaner on dry, clean skin rather than using oil. I just haven't had that great results with oil. So now I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna dermaplane, and I'll kind of use the mirror here, but I should mostly be on camera for you to see it. You kind of hold it at an angle, similar again to a straight razor angle probably, but a little bit different. And then you work it along your and you can hear it cutting. Of course, the dermaplaner is not just about removing hair, it's about removing dead skin cells is really what its original purpose kind of is, but it does all of the above. One major place that I have gotten irritation from it is on this jawline and neck area. And I just try to be careful and not use a lot of pressure. And I can see that most of what I didn't want is gone. It'll be hard for you to see that though. You get little hairs right here that I don't want. And sometimes what I do is wipe the blade. Again, I try not to rinse it with water because I think this thing just works better if it's dry and working on dry skin rather than oily skin or soapy skin or wet skin. Now I'll do the other side here, and you can tell that it's cutting. You can hear it. I can tell that it's cutting for sure. Sometimes it's hard to remember not to use pressure, but I'm getting there. And then down my neck, of course, you can use it all the way there. And sometimes I use it one way or the other, you know, against the grain, with the grain. I'll just lightly go over my forehead with it, just for the dead skin cell removal more than any other purpose. I'm not trying to remove hair on my forehead really, but I like to use it as it was intended, to kind of help get rid of old skin cells, and that happens everywhere on your face. I carefully use it in these other areas. And now we're to the part that I really like it for, which is the mustache area. Works like a charm. Couple little touch-ups. Look at it in some different light angles to see what I missed, and I did miss some on my cheeks way up here. That's especially where I just don't want hair. I don't want my cheeks to look hairy. And then I turn my face to the side and the other way too, and do the same thing. And I've always it's real easy to miss this fine hair if you don't do that. There's some back there that I missed too, by my ear. You can see it. It really works. Okay. A couple little final checks here. Okay, I want to call that good. Don't want to rip it up too much, and what I'm going to do is give myself a little warm water rinse and then a cold water rinse. The cold water feels pretty soothing. Oops, almost forgot my alum. I don't want to forget that. Definitely want to use my alum. So I get my alum block wet and just work it. I can see a little redness on my neck right there, that's for sure. But that looks like the only place that kind of, and that'll happen. Not too much in the way of stings. Maybe one like right here and then a little bit right there. Means I did a pretty good job. And then of course I'm gonna dry the alum block, pat it dry, and then leave it out to completely dry. Yeah, that alum doesn't taste good, as someone observed earlier today. So I just leave that on for just a couple minutes, or not even. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna bend this blade and guard. Let's see if we get rid of that. You know, when women start to age, or maybe when anyone starts to age, we notice these things that we don't like. And I noticed this hair growth a few years ago, and I was like, what can I do about that? You know, some women don't mind it, and they just leave it, you know, no big deal. But I didn't like it, so it would be really easy to look at all that pretty negatively. But you know, I decided after I found wet shaving and all that, that this is just another opportunity to use a really good smelling product, you know, or a good, you know, and quality products to enhance your grooming experience. So normally when I do my Dermaplane routine, I use rose products. I've either got rose or lavender products all the time for that, just standard. I don't mess around with a lot of different stuff. This balm, Crown and Crane Rose on Fire. They have soap too. There's not a splash, but there's a balm, and I think the Razor Company has the soap and the balm. That's where I got it, and this is such a great. I mean, I'd like to get the soap at some point too, but I have too much rose stuff already right now. But this Crown and Crane Rose on Fire, wow, does it smell great. It is really nice. And this balm it's not greasy. It absorbs pretty quickly, but the scent kind of lingers in it, and I tend to like that. But for today, I'm going to use this Italian Plum aftershave just because I love the way it smells, and it's something a little different for me today. That's, man, sometimes I'm jealous of you guys that can get to do this every day. But I wouldn't want to have that much hair on my face, so at the same time. That smells great, and it's not sticky. There are some aftershaves that I've run into that feel really sticky in your hands and going on. This isn't one of them, and that is a really soothing, lovely smell. So, I feel completely refreshed and rejuvenated after all my little rituals today and my trip to the hairdresser. Again, Italian Plum, Hendrix Classics, available at the Razor Company now. Grab a set. It is it's a great summer scent, but this could be anytime. So, thank you so much for watching, and go pick yourself up some Hendrix Classics because you won't regret it.